Hey and welcome to the daily Arsenal news show. Let's begin with our daily news. BBC Pundit says Arsenal star Martin Odegaard is winning him over more and more. Garth Crooks has told BBC Sport that Martin Odegaard impresses him more and more with every appearance following his display for Arsenal in their win over Wolves on Saturday. The Gunners went into the clash at Molineux knowing that they would be top of the Premier League at Christmas. However, Mikel Arteta's men did not take their foot off of the accelerator. Arsenal won 2-0 against the division's bottom side, and it was Odegaard who scored both of the goals for the visitors. The Norwegian showed the most desire to get on the end of Fabio Vieira's cross to break the deadlock, and the skipper then smashed home the second 15 minutes from time to ensure that Arsenal took home the points. It was a proper captain's performance from Odegaard, and Crooks admitted that he is becoming a bigger admirer of the 23-year-old with every game, though he made no secret of the fact that he wishes Arsenal were not performing so well. He went on to say, "The more I see this player, the more I like him. Cool under pressure, never over-celebrates, and, dare I say it, brings a touch of elegance to an Arsenal side that is showing more class than I'm used to seeing from the Gunners. It would seem goals, clean sheets, and a touch of sophistication in midfield from Martin Odegaard are combining to keep Arsenal top of the table. I must say, I am finding all this success on this side of North London excruciatingly painful, but that will only add to the joy of Arsenal fans. My only hope is that not all teams top of the table at Christmas go on to win the title." You can understand why some would steal back Manchester City for the title. They have that experience of getting across the line, and the depth in their squad is honestly a joke. Arsenal, meanwhile, have not been in this position for a very long time. Certainly, none of the current squad, except Mohamed El-Nini perhaps, have fought for the title in a Gunners shirt. But every time it appears that Arsenal's bubble may burst, they find a way to keep their momentum going. With each win, they are gaining more and more belief. The 5-point advantage over Manchester City going into the international break feels significant. City are not unstoppable right now. Arsenal still need to prove that they can handle the pressure once they emerge as favourites in the race, but based on everything that has come this season so far, there is every chance that they will thrive with that tag also. Wayne Rooney seriously impressed by Bukayo Saka's form. Wayne Rooney has told The Times that Bukayo Saka is a top player as he backed the Arsenal for a potential starting spot for England at the World Cup. No one will have been shocked to see Saka named in the Three Lions squad for Qatar this week. The Arsenal youngster has been outstanding for club and country for several years now. Of course, the Gunners are flying high at the top of the Premier League this season, and no player in Mikel Arteta's squad has had a direct hand in more goals in the top flight so far this term. Obviously, Gareth Southgate will probably look to rotate his options throughout the tournament, but it will be interesting to see which side he selects for England's opening game against Iran later this month. For many, Saka should get the nod over the right of the forward line. Rooney named his side for the opening game. He did admit that he could not choose between Saka and Raheem Sterling, but he did explain why he would be happy if Saka was picked ahead of the Chelsea forward. Rooney went on to say, "On the right, it's a difficult one. For England, Sterling has been very good and Saka is a top player, so I would play either of them off the right. Saka puts Sterling under pressure, though. He plays with no fear, and we have been talking about players not being in club form, but he is the opposite. He has been in a great form for Arsenal. They are great options for Gareth, and I think in different games he will change his team up. I don't think anyone could complain, whichever one is chosen." As Rooney suggests, both players will be needed as the tournament goes on. There may well be times when they are both on the pitch as England look to surpass expectations this time around. Sterling has been a stalwart of the England side for most of the last decade, and remarkably, he's still only 27 years of age. Saka, meanwhile, has been so consistent for a number of years. He was often a rare shining light for Arsenal during their time outside of the top four, and he has remained a key player now they have ascended into the title picture. Certainly, Gunners supporters will not be at all surprised if Saka goes on to steal the show in the coming weeks. Sky Sports pundit Alan Smith praises Arsenal midfielder Fabio Vieira. Arsenal picked up an impressive victory over Wolves this weekend, and Fabio Vieira played a big part in the Gunners' win. Mikel Arteta's men received a huge boost even before the game began. Manchester City lost to Brentford. That meant Arsenal would remain at the top of the table, irrespective of the result at Molineux, but they went on and won the game anyway. Vieira, a nearly substitute, was very impressive. Arsenal played their strongest team, which means Granit Xhaka started in the middle of the park. However, the Swiss international went to the ground after just a couple of minutes. Xhaka soldiered on for as long as he could, but his race was run. He was replaced by summer signing Vieira, who caught the eye, especially in the second half of the game. The 22-year-old Portuguese midfielder worked really hard, but his moment of magic came in the 54th minute for Martin Odegaard's opener. Vieira was put through by Gabriel Jesus, and Jose Sa charged at him to stop a shot. Vieira very cleverly lifted the ball over the Ornashing goalkeeper and let it on a plate for Odegaard, who made no mistake. Smith was very impressed. He said on Sky Sports, "It's a lovely bit of skills and composure actually at the death just to think it over Jose Sa. He is such a clever technician." Vieira joined Arsenal from Porto in the summer, but his transition hasn't been easy. He came in with an injury which kept him out of the Gunners' entire preseason, but since he recovered, he has been working hard. Arsenal fans have seen flashes of brilliance from Vieira, and they witnessed that on Saturday's night. His assist was absolutely fantastic, and that opened the door for the Gunners, who hadn't had a shot on target until that point in the game. The 6-week break now could act as a preseason of sorts for Vieira. It could really help him adapt to the English game, and he could explode once Premier League football returns on Boxing Day. Arsenal Target praises them after they beat Wolves. Wolves midfielder Ruben Neves admitted Arsenal is a top club after the Gunners beat them in the Premier League on Saturday's night. The Portuguese star has been on the radar of Mikel Arteta's side for a long time now, and they could finally get their man at the end of this season. For now, he remains committed to Wolves and spoke after their defeat to the Gunners. He watched as Arsenal worked hard to break their resistance and win the fixture 2-0 thanks to a Martin Odegaard brace. After the fixture, Neves told the BBC, "They are a fantastic team, playing fantastic football. The way we broke Wolves' resistance in that game showed we truly are a top club now. That win and some other victories we have achieved show we have developed the character of champions. Mikel Arteta deserves credit for how he has changed the culture at the Emirates, and now our players want to win every game. Hopefully, we will keep winning when club football resumes after the World Cup break. The second half of the season will be very important to our hopes of clinching the title." Arsenal scouted Cody Gakpo last week, but he isn't just said he'd prefer Liverpool or Old Trafford. Cody Gakpo has been one of the names mentioned when it comes to Arsenal for some time now, with the Dutchman catching the eye in the Eredivisie. The Gunners are known admirers of the impressive Gakpo. Indeed, it wasn't just last week that reports claimed that Arsenal had actually sent scouts over the weekend to watch him in action. Of course, a number of other clubs are keen on Gakpo as well. Liverpool have come to the fore this weekend when it comes to interest in Gakpo, while Manchester United are keen as well. And in what could be a blow for Arsenal's hopes of signing the PSV ace, Gakpo has been speaking about the club he'd be honoured to play for. Speaking to NOS via 90 Minute, Gakpo named 5 clubs who interest him. Sadly for Arsenal fans, the Gunners were not mentioned. He went on to say, "I think at the end of this season, I will be ready to take that step. I feel like I was already that way at the start of this season, but after this season, I am even more ready to take that next step." Real Madrid, FC Barcelona, Manchester United, Manchester City and Liverpool, it would be an honor to play there, but I also have to see what kind of team would suit me best. It seems every man and his dog wants to sign Cody Gakpo, and there is a good reason as well. His goals and assist numbers are impressive, and there is only so long he will be staying at PSV. For Arsenal, it would be a shame for them to miss out given their long interest, but Gakpo is such a talent that he could end up having the pick of any club he wants. The Gunners then will be hoping to remain top of the Pops for a while yet. If they do that, then Gakpo might well end up adding them to his list. Former Spurs star claims it's a matter of time before Arsenal sign Youri Tielemans. Former Tottenham Hotspur defender Michael Dawson has given an exciting admission regarding Arsenal's chances of signing Youri Tielemans. Mikel Arteta has reportedly had his eye on the Leicester City midfielder for a while, but a deal has failed to materialise in past transfer windows. However, the 25-year-old's time at the King Power Stadium looks set to come to a close next summer as he sees out the final months of his contract. Tielemans has not yet agreed a contract extension or a new deal with the club, and it's likely he will seek a new challenge with several teams interested. Tielemans will be travelling to Qatar to represent Belgium at the forthcoming World Cup, which may attract interest from other managers. The Gunners could finally agree a deal to bring the Belgian to the Emirates at the end of the season, and Dawson is seemingly certain Tielemans will be an Arsenal player. Michael Dawson said via HITC, "Yes, he would be a good signing. They have been looking at him for a long time. He is coming to the end of his contract, so that would be a no-brainer. I think, will they wait until the summer? That will be the question. Tielemans, I think it will only be a matter of time." Marcus Thuram to consider all options amid Arsenal and Liverpool transfer rumours. Borussia Mönchengladbach forward Marcus Thuram could be ready to consider a new club as he edges ever closer to the end of his contract, according to Fabrizio Romano in his exclusive daily briefing on Couth Offside Substack. Thuram, son of World Cup winning legend Lilian Thuram, has shown in the Bundesliga in recent times, and it's led to some transfer rumours involving top Premier League clubs. The Frenchman has been linked with Arsenal in a recent report from Milan Live, while the links with Liverpool come from a German outlet Fußball Transfer. Romano didn't name specific suitors, but he made it clear that Thuram could be ready to leave Gladbach as a free agent next summer, so he will consider all his options before then. Romano went on to say, "I think there will be many rumours around Thuram, as he is a good player available as a potential free agent in the summer. I am told he could really leave on a free transfer, so he will consider all options in the next months." Arsenal would certainly do well to snap up the 25-year-old, as they lack cover behind their first choice front three of Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.